Right, g'day team. I hope we are well. Ba-da-ba-bum. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, unless the audio is working. I can hear the audio on my end. Right, perfect. Here we go. Right, welcome, one and all. Um, I'll wait for the team to arrive. I have to get a bit more tape. Don't have any tape today though to chuck down on there. We'll redo that next time. That's okay. It's a-okay. Boom. Right, no worries. No worries at all. Right, so countdown always my favourite, Robro. Yeah, looking for group, absolutely. I love a good countdown too myself. Not gonna lie. Um, I think it's such an easy way, right? It's such an easy way to just knock out some time, right? Uh, and It's as I've always said in a lot of the stuff that we do on here, that most of it is tricking old mate up here, whatever's rattling around inside. I don't have a lot rattling around these days. But to be able to not see big numbers on the screen, to have those changes, to have things that you're looking forward to. So you're going, well, I'm doing this at the moment, but then this is going to happen. There's stimulation, there's a little bit of motivation, there's stuff on the side. And so making sure that we've got all of those types of things going, I think really creates, um, that need and that want and that desire to be part of it, which in a way is part of all of that motivation that we do. And so, of course, yeah, this is a real good one. Now, this here, if you can read that, this will be the last session in this space. Okay, I'm out. I've moved on from the villa. I've got another project coming, so I've got a place that I'm going to be setting up. It's a little bit whiter than this, so she could be a bit bright for a while, but that's okay. We'll sort that space. And then we will be building a self-purpose gym, and there'll be a golf simulator in there too. So when we finish the rowing, we'll start hitting some balls, right? And we'll do that. So that'll be a bit of fun. Okay, but for now, it's still sessions are still going to be here, just look a little bit different. Okay, we've had a couple of changes over time, so that's real good. So for today, we'll just knock this out. Just get into a nice, easy routine, a nice, easy rhythm. What will happen is that I've actually just started us a little bit lower. Now I know that we don't do a lot, okay, at that low rating, and so today we will go down to that space, um, and it will help us just to get a nice feeling and a nice bit more patience of the rhythm. Okay. Remember, right? When I've got all these ratings and stuff up here, it's a guide. If you're a little bit higher, you're a little bit lower, it's okay. Okay. Don't think, oh no, I'm not hitting the rating, whatever. Just remember to be really, really focused on what we're doing and how we're doing it and the rhythm that we're trying to achieve. Okay. So the big majority of this session, right, if we look at it sort of that way at least, we've got that sort of 28 minutes of nice, easy rhythm, good flow, whatever. And then we've got this last 10 minutes here where we start to increase that rating. Okay. And by that stage, we'll be in a nice, relaxed rhythm. We'll be rowing really well. And just remember, don't think that you're going to have a real linear step up in your speed. Okay, if it's a bit hard, it's been a long week, whatever else, or whatever, don't think that as this rating comes up, you need to be continuing those step ups of the rating, step ups of the speed. Okay, if we can find a little bit more speed and we can be a little bit more relaxed, and we can just keep that flywheel moving on. A lot of what we need to do, and I can't stress it enough, is that it's us understanding this machine and really moving with it. Okay, not how hard we can make that flywheel go and every stroke. We want to get it to a speed and then we just want to be moving with it and tapping it along and tapping it along. Now, if it means that when we go from 28 to 30, we don't get really any speed change, who cares, right? But what we've done is we would have actually made the flywheel move a bit quicker, right? Because we're moving a bit quicker. Okay, it might just not relate to that on screen. Okay, And that's one thing sometimes we have to think about, is that even when we do make these slight changes, because of the rounding and stuff on the machine, you might be seeing 2 minutes, but you don't know if you're holding an average of 159.6 or if you're holding an average of 2 minutes and 4, right? Because there's got to be a crossover stage, and I'm pretty sure it's like after the 0.5 or whatever. And that's quite a big chunk. That's a whole split. Okay. So just think about that as we're doing it as well. So nice roll, good rhythm, nice patience, boom, smash it out. Okay, let's rock and roll. 18 is fine, 20 can get lost. Love it. Easy. Right, okay, just need a short warm up here. Just enough, 2, 3, 4 minute, whatever. If you've already done it, Robo probably already been here doing this thing. Just getting limber, okay? Can't remember that especially when we start off and you're just moving, this whole reason why when people start and they'll go through a process of doing, hands off the back or coming off and gradually getting longer and longer on the slide, is to help that pivot with the hips, okay? To help the movement of the body. And so as you get more and more limber, I'm a more functional, what's the word? Really active, trying to loosen up. So I'm more looking at my elasticity, okay, as I start here. So I know that I can only really get to what feels like half a three-quarter slide to start, okay? But then I'm just letting myself, okay? Every stroke, as we always talk about, just let yourself roll in. Wherever you get to, that's your length for that stroke. And then over that period of 10, 15 strokes, every time that we just roll forward, okay, without this tension or really trying to be, stiff and really sort of overstretch, let ourselves naturally come up, okay? And then once we feel like we're there, just let it flow a little bit more, okay? So that we do feel that stretch as the heels come off, okay, that seat comes underneath. We can feel that stretch up through the calf and the Achilles, okay? And of course, we already have this body forward. We already have the arms forward, okay? So we're just rolling into that position naturally, okay? And now that we feel ourselves in that natural position, now we can start focusing on the amount of pressure or press, okay, that we're creating on that drive, which is now our workload, okay? Hence, if we start nice and loose, we should be able to maintain this looseness throughout the period of the session, okay? That's why sometimes over exaggerating the warm up can lead you to be like, okay, I'm really trying to get this good length off the bat, because I feel like I've got to really get the pivot going. And it can start you in a process of being a little bit more mechanical rather than that real smooth rhythm, okay, and patience. Okay, a couple more. Boom. Okay, really, really easy. Okay, right. Just 1 second. I just need to make sure I've turned this off. I get messages. And if I don't turn it on my focus to do not disturb, and I haven't had it lately, but the occasional time you get a phone call halfway through and you're like, oh, gotta make sure the Bluetooth isn't connected to this. Great thing with Apple, but hey, look, it is what it is. Okay, so make sure we've got a good drag. As I say, this is another time where you can experiment with the drag, the feet height, always, okay? Depending on how you've been feeling. You might have been in the gym in the weights room. You might be feeling a little bit less flexible. Bring your feet down. You might actually be feeling quite good. Maybe you're like, actually, let's see if I can try and get a little bit more flatter push, or I feel like I'm getting a little bit over top of myself here. So bring the feet up. It just changes all of these angles here and the hips. The hips coming underneath the knees. Do all of that sort of stuff because that's exactly what we're trying to find. Okay, so make sure we're back on the grind here. Here we are. We're good. Okay, so drag's good. Setup time. Okay, right. So because we haven't done one for a while. Right, select workout, new workout, intervals variable. Okay, so we're going to go interval 1 on time. Just take that up to 8 minutes. Okay, this is really easy because we're not going to be changing that set time. Okay, so once you've got 8 minutes flashing, press the check box, just press the time again, and then all we should be doing is pressing the minus button all the way through. Okay, 7, press the check box, time. We have 6, press the check box, time, minus. We've got 5 flashing, press the check box. Okay, and carry that all the way down until we get down to that last set. Okay, let's bring that through now. 2, 1. Okay, and we've got that 1 flashing on there, and that's our last one. Okay, boom, just like that. Job done. Okay, so now we'll press no more intervals. Okay, we've got that 8 sitting on there. That's real good. We're ready to go. Okay, right. Just make sure we've got enough grip on the old hooves today. Okay, it's just a nice session all the way through. Remember that first sort of half or 3/4 of it basically are just going to be about finding nice speed, nice rhythm, relax into it. Let's get this thing moving. Let's be really consistent, okay, working on this flow. Right, here we go. Okay, sitting ready? Hey, ready. Rope. Okay, so with this 18 rating, okay, what we're going to have is a lot of time, okay, like patience. So remember to not try and hold it at the finish. Okay, still keep these hands moving around the finish, and then really focus on this travel speed forward. Okay, and how we are holding ourselves, and we're holding the speed as a continuous motion coming forward. Okay, so we don't want to be like quick and then here or quick into the front. Try and make this feel like it's one speed. Okay, we look at this handle in front of us. Once it comes around the finish, it travels at one speed all the way forward. Okay, we keep that as the focus, then we bring everything else around that. And we think about the body pivot coming, hey, the supple knees. Really nice. Okay. And because we're on this 18, just really think about our hang, okay? Don't try and overwork it to get a lot of power and speed on the drive. We're still focusing on pushing, right? Never ever questioning the intent of the speed and the effort that we're trying to create to be able to maintain, okay? But it's all about this patience. Really good opportunity to just hang these arms. Try not to feel in the arms having too much, I guess, strength of grip, okay? Strength of grip and strength of pull. Really try and feel like you can't pull because we've got the hang, okay? This hang tension, being able to just lead the arms out long, almost push away from them, is the feeling we're trying to create, trying to put into the muscle memory of the stroke so that we can take that right through all the ratings, all the types of pieces that we do. And then that hang strength can hold the max power that our body can create. Okay? Just remember that. If we were to really just jump on it now, hey, what happens is people go, "Rah." Okay? We're trying to teach ourselves that this hang holding the body in that position at the front and then opening it out with the sequence can create that flywheel to increase in its speed and therefore giving us the numbers on screen. Okay. Nice rhythm. Okay. This is beautiful. So remember when we finish this stroke and we feel that inertia around the finish, we feel this body starting to hinge in the hips. Okay. And then really feel this glide back. Nice parallel, flat chain. And have the hands really nice and just level out in front of us. There. Okay, good. Really nice. And because we're traveling at this one speed, we can just let that body and seat really glide up underneath. Hey, the feet, we can feel our toes and what they're doing from the drive to the recovery. We don't have curled toes or really trying to like point them or anything. Nice and relaxed. Okay. The strap's holding us. If your strap gets loose, jump online and buy some new ones. Okay. $5 each or whatever the hell they are, you can chuck them in. They'll really help hold that momentum that you can create and hold us into the machine. Okay. Good rhythm. Okay, so we're coming down to this first change. Remember, just move a little bit quicker. Here we are. So we're first focus is this movement, okay? Around here, the inertia. And because we create that to start, then just going to add that tiny bit more speed to the drive. And what we want to do is, especially in this first sort of 30 seconds that we've just been through, retrain that muscle memory into this new speed of movement, okay? The time that it takes to get the hands around the finish, okay? The drive time will be a bit quicker. We only have to add small pieces of the puzzle to continue it growing, okay? Nice, real good, okay? Here it is. Okay, keep this hang again. Remember this one speed of the slide of the monorail. Yeah, okay. Patience. Real good. And if we've got consistency while we're thinking about all of this movement and we're taking a check and thinking, okay, am I doing this part of the stroke right? We've got evaluation on the screen. Remember, if you're looking at a force curve, it's a trend. Don't think about it stroke to stroke as much as what the trend looks like over a whole bunch of strokes, okay? We should be feeling relaxed. We're getting a sweat on, okay? Feeling the sweat, feeling the heart rate. But remember, always relax the space, have the ability to take a breath in on the drive, okay? if we're okay, if we're having to tense on that drive, we're probably not using the relaxation of the torso, which is being driven by the legs and the body, okay, to get us into that position. Now, once we get up to higher rate, higher power, yeah, we probably can't take that breath in on the drive. But for now, we should be thinking about stability, the hand tension, and not so much the, like really hard strength that we're trying to create on that stroke. Nice. Think about that acceleration of the handle. If we were pulling that lawnmower string, it creates its speed during that time. Okay? Nice. Really good. Nice rhythm. Okay? Once again, let us rhythm around the turn. Hands are the first thing off the bat, the arms and the hands, okay, that move away. If we're getting to the finish and then moving the body at the same time, just allow for a fraction of separation. Without being fully mechanical and getting them out first. We want to get them out and then roll with those hands. They're the guide, okay? Always that focus of, are my hands getting to my knees? Or maybe, depending on your flexibility, slightly beyond the knees, before your knees start more of that lift, okay? Remembering, we don't want to have a jolt by locking the legs out and then having to feel like the knees pop up, okay? We should be supple, relax, and just allow ourselves to roll, okay? Up to 22, here we go. Remember what I said about the first 30 seconds. Let's just think about our movement speeds. Good. We've got a little bit more speed on the drive. Now we're holding this, maintaining this pace. Let's relax into this. Find a nice, continuous motion. Good. Hang. You fold that leg. We start that pressing the legs. Body's got that hand position and that ability to move through that range of motion from this 11 o'clock to the 1 o'clock position. Okay. If we start too high, right, we lose that 30 degrees or whatever. Okay. We lose that first part. So we don't have the ability to have as much momentum with the body through the stroke. Okay. Hence why big programs, low rate, people will be really laying back further to try and hold that length out even further. Okay. And that's fine for them because they're doing 18 to 20 rate. They're professional, they're high performance. But none of them will do that length and they get anywhere above 24, 26. Okay. So if we can keep our form here nice and solid, nice positioning, relaxed, I feel we've got an easier ability to take that through the ratings. Okay. So just think about, feel it now, the speed, the time on the slide coming forward. Let our bodies compress into the front. Okay. Natural elasticity. Let that seat glide underneath. Come towards the ankles. There. Remember, we're not trying to hold ourselves and stop at a position at the front. We let our body do that. Okay. Body compression is what gives us the length. Good. Hold this hand. Remembering that there is a take-up period. Try not to make it jolty, jerky. Okay. Good. So we've set ourselves a really good platform here in the first half of this session. Okay. And now we want to just find some small increments and stay relaxed and dial in this last part. Okay. So remember this first bit of this 24 as we go up. Now, remember, just move quicker. Be elastic. There it is. Okay. This is good. Okay. We hold this. Nice and patient. Okay. Put the pressure on these feet as we drive away. Okay. Those feet, the balls of the feet, as we compress naturally into the front. Don't focus it too much. Just take a self check. Okay. If we feel ourselves just pushing on the toes the whole time, we want to try and be on the balls of the feet, the whole foot. Okay. Through that power zone there. Okay. That's when the legs and body are driving through. We're starting to feel more of a 1-to-1 ratio, drive, recovery. Okay. Who's got a relaxed face? Who's got their breathing under control? Okay, light. Remember, what's the fundamental? Flywheel's moving. Keep it moving. Don't try and increase the speed of it dramatically. Just get on top of it. Okay? Hold the speed. Maintain the speed. Yeah? Okay, nice. Have a self check. Are you feeling the hang under the arms? How's the grip? Are you over gripping the handle, or have we still got a reasonably good hang tension on that handle? Okay. Nice. Okay, real good. Feel the drive. Lick. Okay, so we've set ourselves up really well. We've got 10 minutes left with 4 checkpoints. Okay. First one here. Free it up. Here we go. Think about your elasticity. Don't overreach. Okay, and breathe with me. Okay, think about the finish. If we're really ramming it in, we don't allow for that relaxation of the handle. We keep the draw
soon as we brush that body, and release the tension in the arms. We feel that inertia of the body, the core holding us at the finish. Hands move around. Good. Remember, we're thinking about movement. Flywheel speed. Don't muscle the machine along. Half it along. Breathe. Relax the face. Handle, feet, and seat. Feel a connection. Relationship. Feel that composure. Okay, long arms. Push away from the handle. Don't overgrip the handle. And without the hang. Finger hang. Okay, good. Maintain. Huh? What we're trying to do. Find something the first foot. Maintain. Okay, play your ratings by ear. This is getting up towards your max. Just hold it where it is. And then just maybe increase it for the last couple. Otherwise, move freely. Just a bit more tap, okay? Here we go, 28, 3 minutes. Now, elastic. I swing into this motion. Just like a metronome. Press the body away. Good. Breathe with me. Hand. Uh, and hold this. Ready? Feel that push. Lawnmower. Go, hold up. Half it along. Keep the elasticity. Breathing. Inertia. Jonathan. Okay, prepare. 30. 2 minutes now. Good. Supple legs. On top of the flywheel. Breathe. Remember, don't overwork. Hold what we've created. Yeah. Pass it along. Okay. Keep the pace. Composure. 1.5 minutes to go. Tap. Tap. Hang. Composure. Okay. Last minute. Now, 32 strokes. Feel the rhythm. Good. Flywheel. 15 strokes. Breathe. Flywheel. Beautiful. Okay. Don't stop. Okay. Workouts like that should really increase the heart rate. Okay, because we've got the body trying to hold this aerobic zone as long as we can. Tell you what, I like that, I love it. Especially when you stay relaxed You know, you haven't felt like the tight. It's just good rhythm and momentum to maintain what we've been doing. Okay. And that was the key. When we get it up, we've seen that first little bit adjusting to the new speed of the rate, which is the quickness of the movement. And then we've got to get back into that rhythm of hanging, okay? Really hanging, not getting too, got to feel the strength. Okay, now that is the hard part, okay? Don't get me wrong in any way, shape, or form. That once we start going up, it's very easy to try and make it feel strong, okay? Or feel heavy. We are there. We've got to get the rhythm. And that rhythm creates the continuous motion that then we just sit on top of and tap along. Okay. Great. Real good. Okay, we just keep rolling down. Okay. Please trust me. I know you guys do. Don't have to be putting much pressure behind this, but we just don't want to be stopping. Okay. And then we just, how we were feeling a minute ago, hopefully you're feeling a bit better now. Wow, 2 minutes ago was bah. And then as we just let ourselves get a bit more composure of our stroke on this warm down, we start getting the arms out a bit longer. Okay, we can start flushing some of that lactic acid out of the lats, out of the legs from what we've been doing. Hey, real good. Nice. Really good. Lovely. Perfect. And then let's just start to feel the legs taking and holding, like the amount of body weight that we've got, okay? So as we press, we can feel that body weight trying to be moved, okay? We'll do one more minute here, right? And just start to get back into our same frame that we try and row at, okay? We're just here. We're not trying to push hard. We're literally only using the pressure on our feet with this hang and let the body naturally move back with that opening out of the hinge of the hip. There it is. Okay. Let's feel the elasticness as we take a good few breaths here. Okay, we'll do two more. Last one. Boom. Well done. Well bloody done. Okay. Excuse me. Beautiful. Okay. It's a hard session, okay, but it's also a really good one. And you know, there's it's one where I always feel this one here is the 4 minutes at 26 is a really good indication of how it's been going. Okay, because if I feel like that's a struggle, that I'm like, man, I'm I've had to work this really hard. Then these ones here are quite an effort, right? And then you're just like, mate, when the fuck's this going to finish, right? And I know we say that anyway, but it's a bit more like desperation for it to finish rather than just like, you know what, this is good, I'm holding it, but I'm gonna pop at some stage, hopefully here, not here. Okay. But if these are a battle, these become a battle, and then the rating never comes, and then we're just like, oh fuck, let's let it be done, just be done now. And it's always good, especially to go back and um, I always like going back on the memory of that one. Okay, and you can be like, right, let's have a look, and you can see the steps down that you've created, right? All the different splits. Real good. Eh, nice. And so those are the types of things that with this machine being able to give us that evaluation and that feedback is something that then we can take away. This gives us the rating on the side. Now I'm pretty sure that's the average. I don't think that's the rate when it clicks over from, let's say, from 24 to 26. I think that's an average over that time. Okay, so as long as those are there, if they're within one, cares two, don't care. Okay, just don't want to have like all of a sudden 22, 26, or, and then this one goes to 25 or something. We want to try and get that good steadiness as we go through. Thanks, Rich. Yep, perfect. 18 and 20, what a mess. And no rest period does make the workout any easier. Yeah, and that's one of the things, like you can do. I tell you what, you could do this session, use the same variable interval setting that we did, and you could put a 30-second gap in between here. Now, I guarantee you that it does almost no difference to this. Okay. When you get up to here, I don't know if it's going to make that much difference either. Okay. If anything, there's potential for it to be that detriment. Okay. One reason being that you're going to have that break and be like, then the heart rate's going to come down. And then if you don't build it into the line, the first part of it's going to be slow in terms of the average, which has to make up somewhere over that period. Okay. And plus, because you've let those muscles in your body sort of come down, you're like, boy. And then you've got to go back up again. I think sometimes, but what it's doing is it's also teaching you to be like, okay, focus, 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 focus. It does sometimes give you that mental break to be like, okay, I wasn't getting that right. I kept muscling. I wasn't letting that rhythm go. And so it is something else you can try. Hence why anything that I put on this thing, you could change it a million different ways with rates, break times, you name it. Okay. Uh, Jamie, intimidating by the length of that before we started, but actually felt good. Went pretty easy for the first, aiming to stay in zone 3. Should have gone harder. It's up to you. It's absolutely up to you on how much intensity you want to put into this. Okay. One of the things that I find is that you need to understand that there is a balance between like pressure and rating to be able pressure to be able to get rating. Okay. Because we did some sessions here, Jamie, a couple of weeks ago. Maybe you go back and have, might even be a month ago now, or whatever. Where we were doing things with speed of movement and the pressure of the movement. Okay, so if we're trying to get say 24 rating, you can get that with like really good pressure and speed, and then have a bit more time on the recovery. And what happens is you're creating it with your physical energy, but you can actually do and get that same rating by focusing more on the acceleration of the drive and the handle rather than trying to really make the machine go. Okay. Now, your splits might be slightly less, but what the focus is on speed of movement, not power of movement. Okay. If that makes sense. And so when you're doing something like this, it is really up to you. And my heart rate definitely climbed quite high in that. But there's also one of the things we have to remember about heart rate zones and stuff like that is that the heart, when we talk about the zones, there's a heart rate zone, right? But there's also a lactic production that coincides with that. Okay. Now you can have a really low heart rate and be producing a fucking massive amount of lactic acid. depending on the workout that you're doing, right? And then it can be vice versa, is that if you're really efficient and you're up here around 180, you might still not be producing over 2.5 millimoles, right? Because the heart's trying to pump the muscle, the blood to the muscles as fast as it can to flush it all out. So it's the heart's working in overdrive to keep the chemicalness down here, okay? And it can go like this. Okay, so what it is about you understanding and saying, okay, I want to try and keep composed. I don't want to overwork it. So I'll think more about the speed of my movements, the relaxation of the body, not trying to muscle the machine, but just really feel the hang, the looseness, put it down into the big muscle groups that can handle that amount of lactic acid and stuff like that. And that's what the idea is. Okay. And it's about you finding that. Okay. Thanks again, Robro. Perfect. 18 was hard. I like it being no break and slowly going up the straight. It really felt less strenuous, strangely. Yeah, it does. And I get it, right? And that's one of the cool things about this, okay? It's because you will notice that, and you'll notice the difference when you do this with breaks and that type of thing. Okay. Really helpful. Thanks, Jamie. Perfect. Okay, team. See you back here next week. The studio will look a little bit different. It's definitely going to look a bit whiter. Been in the garage of a rent property, but that's okay. We will be doing what we need to make sure that we get you guys in a really good place, helping you out with your rowing. Still working on the programming stuff. Got to get my ass into gear and get this up and running because I know it's going to be really, really good and helpful for everybody. Okay, perfect. That's it. That's it from me. Have a good rest of your weekend. Go watch some football. I always tune in. It's a Monday here, obviously. I'll go chuck it on soon and do some work, and we'll be away laughing. Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot, team. All the best. Have a safe week next week. Go rest up. If you need a little bit more recovery from this as well, please do so. Otherwise, really good session. Another one ticks all the boxes that you need for what you're trying to achieve. Okay, and remember, whenever you're doing anything, think about this machine. Think about the flywheel, getting it moving and maintaining that with your hand and your physicalness and your fitness, and just focus on how you can make this machine continue to move. Okay. Continue the speed that you've already created. Don't try and add any more power. Just try and keep it going as best as you can and as efficiently as you can do it. Perfect. Next time, we're out. Catch you guys later. Peace.